So you're looking for a payroll provider, you've heard about Gusto and Paycor, and you've got some questions. Well, in this video, I'll be answering the questions: how do these platforms stack up against each other? Definitively whether Gusto or Paycor is better in terms of both price and quality, and what you absolutely must know before deciding whether to use either of these services. And if at any point you want to sign up for either platform and support the channel, I've got links down in the description below that will allow you to earn some free money in the process. Now, starting right off, what is Gusto? Well, in essence, it's a modern HR and payroll platform that's focused specifically on small businesses. Currently, over 300,000 small businesses use Gusto to run payroll, so they are one of the bigger players in the industry. Gusto is actually the service that I use to pay myself a salary, and it allows me to save some major taxes in the process, which we'll get to a little bit later. Now, when it comes to the pros and cons of Gusto, here's what you need to know. First, it's a very user-friendly platform. I am not someone who wants to be neck deep in payroll and going through all of these nitty-gritty things, and so Gusto makes it very, very easy for me to just go in and get done what I need to get done. It's also got a very easy and streamlined onboarding process, so when you're signing up for the first time, they make it very, very simple for you to get in and get out. Then when it comes time to run payroll, it's also very quick to do that. 3 out of 4 of their customers say they are able to run payroll in 10 minutes or less, and for me, it's definitely the or less. They're also going to be taking care of all of the taxes, withholding, and reporting, so that you don't have to do any of that stuff manually, because one of the biggest value adds of using a payroll provider is that you don't have to fill out all of these forms and do all of these things individually. The platform just takes care of everything and tells you how much everything is going to cost. It's also going to be optimized for small businesses. So if you're somebody running a 500 person corporation, Gusto's probably not going to be the best fit for you. But if you're running anywhere from 1 to say 100 employees, the interface and platform is very conducive to that. It's also one of the cheapest options on the market, which makes it a personal favorite for me, as that is a criteria that I care about quite a lot. Since payroll is really something that I just want to get done, I don't want to pay for all the bells and whistles and all that stuff that comes from, a premium service. I kind of just want to have the peace of mind that it's going to get done and it's going to work well. And then lastly, they also do offer a $100 sign-up bonus when you use someone's referral link. Don't have to use mine, but I have it down in the description below if you do want to support the channel if you're finding this valuable. Now, there's 2 big cons about Gusto that you're going to want to be aware of as well before we dive into Paycor. The first of which is that there are some complaints about their customer service. Now, given that they've got over 300,000 small businesses using their service, and a lot of small businesses don't really know what they're doing when it comes to payroll, I totally understand that they have a lot of requests that they need to manage. But in my personal experience, I've never had a hard time getting a hold of them. I've had to contact them less than a dozen times, but in every single instance, it hasn't been an issue to do so. The other thing to note is that it is not free to use Gusto. The pricing is going to vary based on the plan that you choose and how many employees you have, but the base plan with 1 employee is going to run you $46 per month. That's broken down as the monthly fee of $40 and then a $6 per month per employee fee. So as you add more employees, it scales from there. The benefit here though is that they don't start charging you until you run your first payroll. So you're able to go in, get everything set up, and then if you don't want to run payroll until say later in the year, you can do that without having to pay for the entire year's worth of service. So now that you understand Gusto, let's talk about Paycor and start comparing these two head to head. To give you a little bit of background though, what is Paycor? Well, Paycor has actually been around for 33 years, and similarly to Gusto, they are an HR, benefits, payroll, and employee management platform. Generally, they're coming in with less features than Gusto and less users, with a user base of approximately 40,000 businesses. Within their platform, they allow for really easy surveying of your employees. So if you want to send out periodic surveys, gauge your employees' thoughts on different things, they provide a built-in, out-of-the-box, pretty easy way to do that, which can be a good way to, gather actionable feedback. They've also got built-in dashboards and reporting, so you can easily keep a bird's eye view on the different metrics that are important to your business. Now, when it comes to pricing, you do have to request a quote, so they don't have public-facing pricing, but based on the information that's out there on the internet, seems like they generally start off at about $99 per month, and similarly to Gusto, they're going to scale up based on the number of employees that you have. So now that you've got an understanding of both platforms, let's talk about the areas where Paycor really stands out. The first thing you're going to want to know is they provide you with dedicated personnel to help you out with the onboarding stage, because the onboarding is not going to be quite as simple and straightforward as Gusto is. you're probably going to need a little bit more help in the implementation stage. Now, seemingly, Paycor is going to provide you with a more sophisticated platform that's going to be able to accommodate more nuanced use cases. That's what they kind of want you to think. But in reality, it seems like what you're getting is really just a less user-friendly interface and also a less robust product. And the reason that I say that is because of the reviews that Paycor has received. Now, the major review platforms that I tend to look at when I'm doing my research are going to be Trustpilot and the Better Business Bureau. As of the time of recording, Paycor currently has a 1.6 out of 5 with Trustpilot and a 1.2 out of 5 with the Better Business Bureau, which are some of the lowest ratings I've ever seen when looking at payroll companies. But as with anything, it's important to look into the details and understand where these negative reviews are coming from, because oftentimes, the people who feel the most strongly about a product are the ones that are going to write reviews. So what's the story here with Paycor? Well, many folks were actually unknowingly charged a approximately $1,000 onboarding and implementation fee after going through the onboarding process. According to them, this was not made apparent beforehand, and understandably so, made them quite frustrated when they received that bill. There's also a lot of reports of sales reps making very false promises that nobody had any intention of actually living up to. I also was able to find one 5-star Trustpilot review that, in my opinion, was clearly paid for. And on the Better Business Bureau, it looks like they haven't had a positive review in over a year, which is not a great sign. Additionally, they've got Google listings for multiple locations across the country. All of those reviews are overwhelmingly negative as well. Now, what confused me a little bit is I found some sites out there that seem to have pretty positive user reviews for Paycor. But when I looked a little bit closer, it seemed like a lot of these were paid for as well, as it didn't seem like they were very specific to the product. They felt very generic and were on sites that I believe are a little bit easier to gain, which when you're paying for reviews just makes you lose all credibility in my eyes. So all that being said, who wins here? Well, in my opinion, it's pretty clear. Now, when I made this choice myself, I spent dozens and dozens of hours researching the different options out there and trying to figure out what was going to be best for me and my business. And with a cheaper, easier to use, more optimized for small business platform that also gives you $100 to sign up when you use the link in the description below, Gusto just comes out as a very, very clear winner to me. There's a reason that they're the industry standard, and I personally wouldn't feel comfortable recommending anyone to use Paycor after reading through those reviews and just seeing the slimy business practices they have in place. So if you want to sign up for Gusto, support the channel in the process, that link will be in the description below. Feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you happen to have a positive experience with Paycor, feel free to drop me a comment. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.